3 words is all I have to say. Strength in numbers. Warriors motto. This is why we got the depth all through the offseason. Well, now we need to use it. Steph Curry, injured. We know how long he's going to be out at least. DeAnthony Melton, injured. How long is he out? We're going to tell you. Wiggins may not play. Green, ice packs on his knees. Steve Kerr just did a press conference. We're going to hear exactly what he's going to do to this rotation. In addition, Santa Cruz Warriors have built out their team. So we have so much to go over today on this episode of Warriors Digest. It's all around the Warriors roster and the main team, the G League team. And you're going to subscribe to this team of Warriors Digest to be here with Randy Silver. I appreciate it so much. Please like and subscribe so you get all the updates on Warriors news. We do live streams throughout the game like last night. We had 350 people on at one time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a new record. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. We're within 150. If you're not subscribed, it would mean the world to me. Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 7,000 so you don't miss videos daily like this. All right, folks. Steph Curry, the biggest story, of course. Steph Curry will miss the Warriors' next 2 games at least, against the Pelicans in the back-and-back Tuesday, Wednesday, after the ankle sprain last night. No structural damage will be re-looked at Friday before the 5-game road trip. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to my last video. I have the video of Steph rolling his ankle, not once, twice in the game against the Clippers, which they lost to the Clippers. When Clippers were on a back-to-back, our first home game of the season, pretty disappointing night throughout. Curry had to get helped off the floor. Obviously, this whole team is built around him. He's going to be missing a TNT game Tuesday night against the Pelicans. They play again, and that game's at Chase Center at home. They play again Wednesday at home. That road trip, folks, is not going to be easy. We're going to break it down in a second, but it's an East Coast swing. Maybe you play the back 3 of those, or you wait till you come back, and when you come back, you have Klay Thompson's return, NBA Cup. Another issue, DeAnthony Melton. So you're losing 1 point guard, now potential backup point guard. What does that mean? You can guess Podziemski is going to be the starting point guard. He's out against the Pelicans as well. Right facet inflammation, team is calling it basically a strained lower back. Warriors have to be careful with Melton due to that he missed large chunks of last season with a similar type of injury, a back injury. And that's why we kind of got him cheap this year. If you want to look at what his contract is, you see Melton right there, number 4, 1 year, $12 million, because he had the back injuries. He played so well in preseason. If I look at his stats right now, actually, let me just pull it up so we can look at this together. I'll make this bigger. Like if you want to see this collectively, you look at Melton. He's averaging 17 minutes a game, 6 points in 3 games played. A little bit over 1 rebound, almost 3 assists. So not doing bad. Again, if you're missing Steph Curry, 26 minutes per game, only 18 points, pretty low for him. 7 assists, 5 rebounds, but a very good, well-rounded sheet. That's tough. I also mentioned, of course, that Wiggins could be out as well. But to answer a question you may have, because I had the same thing, a facet joint syndrome is an arthritis-like condition of the spine that can be a significant source of back and neck pain. This is caused by degenerative changes to the joints between the spine bones. The cartilage inside the fossa joint can break down and become inflamed, triggering pain signals. That does not sound fun, especially as an NBA player having an arthritis-like condition. That is chronic. And in your back, that hurts. How many of you guys strained your back? I've done it before. You literally are hunched over. Hunchback in Notre Dame. You can't move at all. It hurts. And to try to be an NBA player with that is brutal. So hopefully, like the Warriors are doing, be safe. Maintain him to be healthy throughout the season. And then if you look right here, Steph Curry out, we talked about. Melton out. Let me make it bigger. Andrew Wiggins, questionable with a lower back strain. This is when the depth begins to be tested. Strength in numbers. Green did not play basically the end of that 4th quarter. He had 2 ice packs on his knees against the Clippers. Yes, we have the strength in numbers, but we also have some older players. Wiggins, is about to be 30. Curry and Curry and Draymond in their mid-30s. So you're going to have to take care of it. Now, that 5-game road trip, Rockets, playing good, young team. Wizards should be a W. Then Celtics, Cavs, and Thunders. All three teams, playoff teams last year. Celtics won the chip. Cavs lost in the first round to the Knicks. Thunder made it to Western Conference semifinals, and they lost to the Mavericks. So that's a very tough swing not to have potentially Melton as your backup point guard or Steph Curry. Duh. First 2 games, okay. Back half, that's like a week out from here, a week and a half out. We'll see what happens. Now, Steve Kerr, of course, needs to figure out his rotation. So what did he say about what he's going to do with this lineup, especially who starts? You can guess who will it be.
See with Steph out and Melt out, what does your point guard rotation even look like right now? You don't know who you're going to start, but what does it even look like? What are your options there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, BP will handle the ball quite a bit. Kyle Anderson can play point forward. Draymond can play point forward. We have a lot of guys who can handle the ball. Pat will most likely activate Pat tomorrow for an additional ball handler, and we'll go from there.
If you don't know who Pat is, he is talking about Pat Spencer, G League player. So let's go here. Again, you look at what we got. Let me actually use this one. So this is our roster right here. You got Pat Spencer, Beekman, and Post as two-way players so they can come up when injury. Of course, we talked about it a bunch. I'm not going to talk about it here. We have an open spot on the roster because we're hard capped and can't sign anybody at that first hard cap. Spencer comes in. So Podziemski is now your first point guard. Pat Spencer potentially runs with the second team if they don't want Anderson or Draymond Green running with that team and doing it. GP2 could do a little bit ball handling, not that much, but no Melton, no Curry. Expect Pat Spencer to be able to handle the ball with that second unit, get some minutes. I think Waters gets some more minutes as well because you're replacing Curry's shooting. This also means that starting lineup is going to be different. It'll be BP, Wiggins, Kuminga, thumbs up, Draymond, and Trayce Jackson-Davis. So you got to get Kuminga to step up and shoot better. You got to get Draymond to score more points. Again, everyone's got to step up in the absence of Curry, and that's why you have strength in numbers. Now, the good thing is a lot of these players have played this season already. We're not doing a 10-man rotation. We're doing a 12-man rotation. We used 13 players in the loss to the Clippers. 12 of them logged at least 13 and a half minutes against the Jazz. 14 players, 12 of them getting 45 minutes. And then Portland, 14 players, at least 14 minutes from those 12. So they're a little bit of a rhythm, not like you're coming in cold, but not having Steph Curry is brutal. 2 games, I don't think he plays at least a week. It's so early in the season. You don't want this to become a chronic issue. There's no need to push it. Kyle Anderson, expect him to get more minutes as well, as Steve Kerr talked about. He only played 4 minutes last night, but you know what? He did not pout, Steve Kerr said, and that's exactly the professionalism you expect from Kyle Anderson and what you need from this team to sacrifice, knowing there are 12, 13 players who could play on any given night. You're not going to get your minutes every night. Injury comes in, you can play. So it's a very hard position for Steve Kerr to find those minutes, but he's able to do it with the full unit so far. Now you're missing you're missing Steph Curry, you're missing DeAnthony Melton. He will have to find more minutes for other players, and they need to step up. And that's where you look right here, again, at the stat sheet. Let me make my camera small so you can't see me. Like through 3 games, you look at Kuminga, 8 points. That's got to vastly improve, especially if he wants to be a very high-paid player. Expect Moody to get more minutes. Expect Podziemski, that's going to go up. Payton has done a nice job. He's not the biggest scorer. Waters, I think, gets more minutes to help with the impact of losing Curry's shooting. Green needs to do more on the scoring. Anderson will do more. Santos probably not playing a lot still unless they need him. So there's ability here for this team to perform better. So comment your thoughts. What do you think about the idea Steve Kerr said? Obviously, it makes sense. And the Warriors' chances of winning these games without Steph Curry and DeAnthony Melton. But, of course, Steph Curry more important. And one last thing to share. The Santa Cruz Warriors roster is official. You'll see a lot of names you may recognize if you've been around this channel. You follow the Warriors. Yuri Collins was a summer standout. Blake Hinson was with us and signed as a training camp player. Kevin Knox II. Yes, folks, Kevin Knox II did not sign with the NBA team. He is staying. He is staying as a Santa Cruz Warrior. Maybe here he earns his way to a full-time roster spot. Then you got Jackson Rowe, Donta Scott, names you recognize, and your two-way players, Spencer, Beekman, and Post. Expect those players, Spencer, Beekman, and Post, to play a lot. But, of course, as Steve Kerr said, Spencer getting brought up, that means somebody on that team like Beekman will get more playing time at the point guard position. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw this. We'll give you updates on this roster throughout. But the big news of the day, Steph Curry, not crazy ligament damage, not something that could be a multi-week thing that we're hearing yet. Reportedly, it's just at least the first 2 games. And then Friday, so basically 5 days from now, we'll look at what happens and we'll get a more update. But, of course, we got games before with the Pelicans, and you'll have all the news you need, Warriors Land, right here in Warriors Digest. Please subscribe, like, help us get to 7,000 fans. It would mean a lot. Bye, y'all.